Anyway, kesho mko na shamra. Tell me about it.
It's the climax of the 60th birthday for FC Leopards. I think for a 60th birthday, it's been elaborate. The celebrations have been elaborate. There's been cake cutting. There's been an Ingwe night. There was a dinner last night. But now, the Spanish fourth tier tie Eira Massa are in town.
Yes.
For a friendly match against FC Leopards at Nyayo Stadium tomorrow. It's going to be an elaborate ceremony. Some old-time legends have been invited in. There's also some bit of Sukuti dance and some Luya vernacular musicians through. So should really be a festival at Nyayo Stadium tomorrow. I'm told there are other friendly matches. I'm yet to confirm which ones.
I can borrow from listening to because we had AFC patron,
Yes,
Mr.
that.
Muteshi on Monday night, and of course we had Celebwa, former coach, team manager, and player, and we had Devon Bluma, like representing the young generation Z, the fans who want success now. And one of the things your patron told us was that there would be friendlies, and one of the reasons the friendlies are is because the one of them is Gore. I think Gore and Shabana. Gore legends, I think, play FC Leopards legends. And then the ladies. There's also a ladies game, if I'm not mistaken. And then the main game versus Ramasa versus the FC Leopards. I think it will be versus your under 20 something. Yeah. Your under 21s or under 23s or under 20s. Because FKF did not want you guys, the senior guys, playing or something. There's something like that. Yeah. But basically, Gore fans are invited. Shabana fans are invited, and Leopards have really gone out to make sure that these celebrations are as elaborate as they can be. Yeah. And I think it's wonderful for them to have these kind of celebrations. True. Because look, at the end of the day, Ingwe is a big brand, is a big team. And you just hope this can be at least a good celebration, And I'm sure even when you look at social media, you are seeing even the hashtag Ingwe at 60 has been going on. They've already done that. What is that thing guys exchange at the game? This one. Yeah. That one. I don't know what its name. That one. They've already done it for AFC Leopards versus Ramas. I think it's just beautiful. Look, as important as corporate teams and other teams are there, I think football needs its community teams. I just hope AFC can come forward and start living in the present.
I hope all this elaborate celebration can kickstart something. I don't know if you watched enough or if you listened to enough in the show to show that there's promise in the future. Maybe that you can tell me. But I just hope all these 60... Because the last 60 years, there's not been enough success from my end. I wish for much more.
No, there was success until the 90s. It's only once the 90s checked in. Yes. And Mr. Muteshi was said some really important things. He said, listen, as a country, we didn't manage our transition of football from amateur to professional well. We didn't manage the 90s well. We didn't manage... Because in the 80s, if you played football in this country, you got a job. So the Leopards didn't have to worry too much about what JJ Masiga was doing or Gore about Juakali or about Austin Oduor, because these guys were either in their own jobs or they had parastatal jobs. This is the days when Kekoso was huge because you had Kenya Airways, you had Bandari, that's KPA, you had Kenya Railways, you had Ministry of Transport, all those. So they got absorbed into all those. So that's how you...
So they only played for allowances, I'm told.
Yes. So once... The structural adjustment programs came in the 90s, and those parastatals couldn't do that anymore. And the clubs now had to shoulder all that. And then we turned the game pro. He said we missed something somewhere there. And since then, we haven't recovered. Because he said the biggest problem facing even AFC Leopards is finances, is how to be able to keep all that going. And also maybe now how to turn, and it's been one of the pillars of these celebrations, the corporate agenda. How then do you turn Leopards into something corporate where you've got money coming in and you've got sponsors and you've got membership and you can put all these things together? I think that's what you're asking for. Yes. How can Leopards bring in the corporate membership, corporate sponsorships, members funds drive, members to buy kit, the money that goes back to Leopards, so that you're able to put all that. So that you then, because he was like, if you don't have the money, you are still going to lose your playing staff. You're still going to struggle with your team. So you're going to keep starting because you're losing your players to the teams that pay better. So how do you put all those things together? I think that's what's the word people like to use? That's the roadmap that Leopards need. That's what you're asking for.
And is there a connection between that and success on the pitch?
Of course there is. Because if you're able to pay if you are able to, the better the salaries you can pay, the higher the players you attract, the higher the quality of the players you attract, the higher the quality, the better your team. And if the players are of top quality, your coach is of top quality, you will deliver on the pitch. And also maybe the community around AFC Leopards needs to also rally around AFC Leopards in ways that Kogalo community rallies around it. Maybe there should be a clarion call as well for Ingwe community to rally around it that way. Because you have got this thing is like a vicious cycle. It's like a chicken and egg. You need to get the money to get good players, to win. When you win, more fans come in. When more fans come in, more fans, so more get collections, more fans who put on your merchandise, so you make more money. If you are winning, you get corporate sponsorship. If you get corporate sponsorship, you continue winning even more. You get like everything adds on everything else.
I ask again.
Yes.
Because that's what I asked at the start. You've interviewed the chairman of FC Leopards a few weeks ago. You've interviewed the patron. You've interviewed a coach and a fan.
Yes.
Have you seen enough to suggest that there could be success around the corner? Success in this case, winning titles, or have you had enough?
It's at the very least 3 years away. I think Leopards can win the league, but they need 3 years. You have to build on a team. Yvonne was very vocal and she said every year we change our players, we bring in 12, we remove 15. Like she was and she was like, the changes means that every start of the season Leopards is trying to find its way, it's trying to gel. Second half they look good and then we continue the cycle. Then of course Leopards have paid the price of all those transfer embargoes because of the issues with transfers from previous.
Yeah.
So that also ensured players can leave but players can't come in. So you are forced to get players from your under 20 and your reserve side to come up. So for you to build a winning team, generally, if you think about it, generally you need maybe 3 years. When you look at the great Kogalo team that won the league for the first time ever in 2013, that team started with the late Sianga. He was the first one who started with it. He put it together, the young boys from school, the Blackberry, Kevin Omondi. He brought them together, Musa Mohammed. Those young boys. And then they went to Agido. And then from Agido, they went to Anabawono. Then from Anabawono, we went to Loga. Then from Loga to... Was it Zico?
Yeah, Zico.
I think it was Zico a bit. I think it was Zico. And then Bobby Williamson. Yes, something. I think so.
Zimaria, I think somewhere else.
No, Zimaria is later. Zimaria is 2016.
Okay.
Yes. But they took a while to build that team. But then that was the core of the team. All the way now to then adding Kahata, all the way to them winning the league unbeaten. All the way to now. That's why the current Gor team, now they are building again. The only difference is that Gor have this capacity to build and win. So Leopards haven't won in 26 years. So you have to build on what has been achieved this. Because, for example, if Osems had stayed, you'd have built on what Osems had started. But then now, Osems leaves, TJ comes in, he has to leave, then you have to bring in Tusha, then you start again. So I feel like, in my opinion, this is not what they said. Of course, they want the team to win. In my opinion, continuing the trajectory that is there now, you need 3 years of building. Then now you start being the dominant